All right, so we're talking about the training aid that saved my short game, all right? And here it is. This is the Orange Whip Wedge. For those that know me, you would know I've had some issues in the past with working on short game, and so that led me on a journey to learn as much as I could about the short game. And one of the things that I've found that has consistently helped me, even when things get a little off track, has been this Orange Whip Wedge, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So before we do that, click that subscribe button. We're gonna have more reviews, some gear, some of those things, so make sure you don't miss out on those. More drills to do with your tech, so don't miss out on those as well. We will see how we can go and help your short game today if you start understanding what the Orange Whip Wedge is. Okay, so let's get to it. First off, I wanna say, they are no way paying me to do this. So this is just, I love this training aid. I have it, love it. I've heard many other people say they love it. So let's talk about why it's really, really good, okay? So I struggled with having some of the yips, all right? You know, when I came back from the game, I had an injury, couldn't really touch a club for a year, and when I came back, I really, really struggled with chipping. What was happening was I was just going kind of back to my old school, kind of lead with my hands. You know, I grew up playing on kind of slower greens, bigger greens where you could just bump and run everything. So I got really good at that. But, you know, as things have evolved in the game, you have more tight lies, more need for a higher lofted pitch shot. So then that's when I started to struggle. With a 56 or a 60, I was really having some issues. So this Orange Wedge Whip has really helped me fix that, all right? And what it lets me realize is, you know, and I worked with Stan Utley, who is the name that's on it. We worked with him at the show about it too when we were going through this is, you know, the thing that he had me do was start to see that, you know what, if I'm going to chip, I have to get the club head to move. I was spending too much time moving the handle, okay? And then I'm not controlling, I'm not letting the club head swing. So what he had me start doing is just hold this up, make a few swings, and just feel like I'm loading the wedge, moving as little of my body as possible. Okay, so we started to do that, all right? He said, okay, let's hit a chip shot where you feel like that's all you do. So just go back and just feel like the wedge is loading. And that's pretty good, where I could get the bounce now engaged with the wedge. That was the big thing. So he had me hit a couple of those, okay? And just seeing that, all right, I can get the bounce engaged. Then he's like, all right, let's try a couple of higher ones, okay? So I moved the ball position, okay? Doing the same thing, was able to get the ball to go up. And this is a 56 degree, right? And you know, so that's pretty high with that club. And then he said, there you go. That's all you need to work on is getting that wedge to fire. Now, when I first started using this, I really struggled with it. My tendency was, I just always wanted to move my hands. I wanted to get my hands to go forward, and that was an issue. That was making the leading edge get into the ground. I was blading, chunking. I mean, it was a nightmare. What started happening when I did this, I was getting more of the bounce, so you heard even on the first shot I hit the ground a little. I can still hit a good shot doing that. I'm using the bounce of the club, which is, that's that safety net that you can have to be able to hit good shots. So that's what started happening. I started actually hitting more of those spinner wedges, which was a lot of fun, being able to fly it pretty far into the green and have the ball stop. And then, you know, a lot of things, the things I was worried about was, all right, am I gonna start like just basically flopping everything? Well, no, because if I change my ball position, you know, if I go back and I just get the wedge to load, you can see that's a pretty low trajectory pitch shot that we're hitting. So that works out really good too. So it's just getting control of that, getting control of what's going on with how we load this club, and we'll be in really, really good shape. So the Orange Whip Wedge, it's a great tool. Highly recommend if you're somebody that struggles with your short game, I highly recommend that you check it out, see what you can do with it. All right, so there it is, the Orange Whip Wedge. There it is, all its glory. It is one of those things that has really saved my game. You might have heard, if you listen to Golf Science Lab, I was on there talking about the yips, what it's like. It's a crazy feeling, but getting something that will force you to feel the correct technique, that is a huge help. I can take this thing all the way up to 40, 50 yards comfortably and work on that technique. It's very, very similar. So it's a great tool to practice with. I use it before every single round. This travels in my bag with me because I feel like I gain so much confidence using it. So again, really, really cool tool. I would highly recommend you check it out and see what you can do with it. But the Orange Whip Wedge, go check it out for yourself. Thanks so much everybody for watching. We will see you in the next video. Again, click that subscribe button. If you have any questions about the wedge or any training aids you want me to check out, please comment down below. And as always, we will see you in the next video. Peace.